Welcome back to the Full Force Combat podcast. This is in collaboration with Undeniable Fight Night 1. History will be made in just over 4 weeks' time. It's the first ever sanctioned hybrid event. It takes place in Preston, and I'm delighted to be joined tonight by one of the amateur participants, history maker, Mr. Zach Williams. How are we doing, Mucker?
I'm good, mate. Thanks for having us on. Good chance to sort of tell everyone about the upcoming events and everything involved with it.
Absolutely. So before we get snowball into the event, let's take it right back to the start for you. How did you fall into combat sports, big man? Where did it all start for you?
Probably from a kid, obviously. When I was growing up, obviously I'm in my mid-20s, you had all Mayweather coming up. I had the back end of Hatton. So I've watched all that. I've always loved boxing from a kid. Love fighting. Basically grew up watching combat sports basically the last 15, 20 years. Dad was massive into it. He grew up with the Hagler Hearns era. So I got all the stories from that. And then I think I was inevitably going to end up having a dabble myself.
Yeah, absolutely. So how did your journey start into combat sports? Do you remember the first time you walked into a gym, and why did you end up falling into combat sports?
I think I started when I was younger, boxing. I'm talking like a kid. At the time, I favoured football, but as I got older, about 5-6 years ago, I walked into a boxing gym in Farnworth with a lad called Jordan Nicholson, who was just doing it for a bit of fun, bit of fitness, and I just ended up falling in love with the sport. Within 8 weeks, had my first fight, and then I was fighting every weekend after that for a long period of time.
Wow.
Quite
So
often, I was giving away lots of weight just to get in a ring.
Yeah, that's kind of I'm assuming, is that in the amateur game?
That was in the unlicensed.
Right. Okay. So that's where you've honed your craft, and then that's where it's led on to the hybrid, which is very good. Now, you mentioned a few very notable names there that you used to watch growing up. So who was your heroes growing up, Zach? Like your combat sports heroes?
Personally, I'd have to say Hatton, just because he was the biggest name around at the time of growing up. Then, obviously, since I've become say 16, 18, going the pubs watching it, there's always going to be Tyson Fury watching. Obviously, he's the massive name, isn't he? Anthony Joshua. You got all the big heavyweights that we've been privileged to obviously see the last few years. Obviously, got Usyk coming up now at the top of his game. So I'd have to say, as a kid, it would have been Hatton, but since then, probably Tyson Fury. If I was going to say my all-time favourite fighter, it'd probably be Hearns, because he's the same weight.
Yeah, I like that. So it gets a bit of stick, this heavyweight era, doesn't it? It's a bit undervalued, but we have been treated to some monster nights over the years, haven't we?
I think it's very easy to give it a lot of stick with the names that's come before it, but it's a completely different era of boxing, different technical abilities, a different style of boxing. You can't compare the likes of Ali to Usyk, and you can't compare the likes of Lennox Lewis to Tyson Fury, because they fought in different eras where I don't think Tyson Fury would have struggled in them areas, but it was a different style of boxing. And if you put them in the likes of these 15 round areas, by the time they've had 30 fights, they'd have done a lot more rounds. So they wouldn't have been these fast paced fights. I don't think you'd have got the likes of the Hagler Hearns fight in this era, because I just don't think people are coming out trying to fight like that, because in this day and age, it's all about money. So it's a lot more technical fights these days where people are, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't want to lose or get humiliated in the first couple of rounds, because then they've lost a big money fight for the next one. So people can say it's not the same, but you're getting treated to a lot more technical. There might not be as all out action, but there are a lot of technical rules going on. If you watch it, closely. Likes of people think Tyson Fury's just this big unit, but even when you see him in the grapple, in the clinch, he's putting his weight on them, he's tiring him down, he's mastering. Then you see look at his head movement when Usyk had him in the corner. You can't say that they're not as good as they used to be. They're just a lot more technical about it.
No,
It's a slower pace.
absolutely. I think you've summarised that absolutely brilliantly. Now, the technical side, as the two that we've been talking about, Tyson and Usyk, they're like, we've never seen that kind of technical side in heavyweights before, have we? Especially with Tyson, nearly 7 foot tall, and he can move like a welterweight at times, which is absolutely crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, he's an absolute freak of nature to be able to do it. To be 6'7" or 6'8" and be able to take the piss out of people like that, have that type of head movement in the corner, be able to, it just doesn't make sense. But then it's fair dues to Usyk because he had him on the back foot. Usyk deserved to win them
Absolutely. Like we
fights.
said, we've been treated definitely, and that's very sad for us to say, considering he was our hero growing up. But that's what happened over the 24 rounds that they shared, and we was treated to them. But now let's draw it closer back to you now. Now I know what your motivation is and your reason why you fight, but let's tell the fans and the followers, what's your motivations at? Why do you fight?
I think the last few years has been my daughter and just my family. Just want to make them all proud. Started off fighting for my mental health, fighting for myself, but as years have gone on, I want my daughter to see me doing well. I want my daughter to be able to look back and say, my dad did that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, a bit more on the hybrid stuff. It's a very, very, very historical night, and you're going to be one half of the first ever amateur contest. Now, what made you come into this opportunity? What grabbed your attention about it?
I think, obviously, as you know yourself, I'm good friends with Steve, who I've been in the stable of WCU for a number of years. Got quite a good friendship. I've had a lot of coaching off Steve. I've been watching what he's done in the bare knuckle world. And when he come up to me with the opportunity, I knew he would have my best interests at heart because I fully trust the fella. And I'm just thinking, if he's saying this is a good opportunity, it's a bit different. I've always wanted to have a go at bare knuckle and everything, sort of an in between. So for the first ever sanctioned show, chance to make history, why would I not do it? It's a chance to show
Absolutely.
everyone what I can do.
Absolutely. Would you say that Steve's word is bond, and was that like a really the biggest influence in taking this opportunity?
Oh, 100%. Anyone who knows Steve knows he's a proper gentleman. He'd never do anyone any harm. And he always has people's best in. If he says something's good for you, he's saying that because he full-heartedly believes it himself. And that's why when I had the chance to get managed by Steve and have him sort of deal with my fights, giving me the opportunities, I jumped at the chance because one, I've known him for a number of years and he's never ever done anything out of line or done anything wrong. I've had disagreements with him mainly because of myself, but he's never had my best interest not at heart.
Absolutely. Do you know what I like that when you have a disagreement, you can take responsibility for it. And Steve is a very loyal person. And like you said, he's definitely got your best interests at heart. So when it comes to the opportunity, and as we know, we've got the 4-ounce gloves in professional, you're fighting 8-ounce amateur at first, the curved gloves. Was there a conversation about going straight into professional, or was he leaning more towards fight amateur first and then we'll move you into the professional?
Yeah, it was certainly on the table, but I think at this time it were a case of I wanted to I fight quite a lot. I wanted to fight in October. I think October the 18th in Liverpool on their WCU show. So I think at the time it was the best choice for me to fight in the 8-ounce gloves. But I'm already eyeing up the second show in Northern Ireland as in professional.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So we're 4 weeks away now. training camp full in swing. How's it been going?
Been going fantastic. Been training 2 times a day, a couple times a week, training about 6 times a week, nearly every week. I am having to do it because of my shift work. I'm having to do stuff on middle of the night, so I'm having to do it as soon as I get in the morning. But we're getting it done. Yesterday we managed to get in some hill sprints and then 30 minutes of boxing, then a circuit later on in the evening. You make it work, don't you?
Absolutely. It's the love of the sport. That's exactly what it is. Now,
You
your
want to do it,
opponent,
you'll find the time.
oh, absolutely. Now, your opponent, Zach, on the evening, do you know much about Daniel? Do you know much about him?
I've had a brief chat with him. I don't know a great deal about him, but to be honest, I'm a confident guy. I don't think there's much that he can bring that's going to trouble me too much. But I think he could say the same thing about me. We'll see what happens on the night. He's going to be working his socks off to get fit for this fight, and I'm working my ass off. It's 70 kilo, which is a bit heavier than I'm used to fighting. So it's going to be
Mm.
less brutal on the weight cut.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking, people look at me, they've seen me fight, and they think I'm going to be an easy opponent. I think sometimes because I'm built like Thomas Hearns. I'm 6 foot plus, fighting at low weights. I'm always much bigger than people think. I'll get on the inside and I'll do basically have my way, and it never goes like that. I frustrate people. People can't. People can't get on the inside. I move, and a lot of the time I'll wind you up until you make the mistake. So I will adapt to whoever it is and whatever game plan he brings on the night, and I'm fully confident that I will get the job done, whether that be on points or stoppage.
Absolutely. So the underestimation of yourself, do you enjoy that? Because it leads you into a different mentality, doesn't it? You know, if you're being underestimated pretty much every time you go into the ring, just purely based on your style.
Yeah, I love being the underdog. I love people thinking that I'm the underdog. People, and especially a lot of it on you. If you watch some of my early fights, which are a lot of the ones on YouTube, people think, "Fuck me, I'm going to nail this kid." But what
Mm,
people don't realise in them fights is I was giving away 10, 15 kilos.
mm.
I've never cared, and I don't think he ever will. I will fight anyone, whether you've had 50 fights and knocked 50 fellas out. I will still get in there.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's my mentality.
Absolutely.
I don't back down to anyone. I've not done since I was a kid, and I'm not going to start now at 26.
Absolutely, Zach, a proper fighting man, proper fighting talk. So, with that said, what would you say is your best assets and attributes?
I'm very unorthodox. I don't follow the general jab, jab, right hand, 1, 2, left up. I will keep you guessing. You won't know what's coming.
Mm,
And then, even on the inside, if you get inside, I love that. You get close to me. I want that.
yeah,
People come in close, they get the body, and next minute they got the spun round, they're on the ropes. Or
absolutely.
I'll
Now,
hold you and the ref will fit it up and I'll have a breather. I'll do what I want with you if you come close to me.
I love this fighting talk. Now, hopefully, Daniel will be having the same sort of mentality. So, have you studied him a lot, or at all, or do you more refine your own skills and just purely concentrate on yourself, and especially at this stage in
I
your
will not
career?
prepare for him. I'll prepare for me. I know what I want to do and I will just prepare for that. And whatever he brings on the night, I'll adapt and I'll work out what I need to do and I'll do it. And ultimately, that's all you can. Anyone who says they've got this cast iron game plan, step back, it never goes to plan anyway.
Hmm.
You can study someone, they might fight like that for 20 fights in a row. And on that night, if you prepare for that and you don't have a plan B or you're not ready for them, and they don't come out like that, your whole head. So you bet, in my opinion, you better just preparing for you and then adapting to them on the night.
Absolutely. Do you have a message for Dan?
I think, mate, make sure you're training hard because I am. And I know you think he likes people to underestimate him, but don't underestimate me either, because I'm here to get a job done. I'm here to make a name for myself, and ultimately I'm going to do it.
This fight has got all the ingredients for fireworks, and what you've just said there, that leads me perfectly on to the next question. Further opportunities and stuff, you did briefly touch on the Northern Ireland card, but they're looking to take hybrid all around the globe. So are you all in with this? Like, you can eventually be the poster boy for hybrid. You can have a genuine career out of this. As you said, as we've touched on, history maker, man. You're going to be the first at 50% of the first amateur fight. So it's down to you now, isn't it?
Yeah, completely. It's down to the both of us to create a good fight, get the card off to a good start. But ultimately, by the end of this show, people will know who I am. If they don't already, they will.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So is there anything that you would like to add before we leave it? Any sponsors? You don't have any sponsors
At
currently,
this
do you?
moment in time, I'm looking for sponsors to help fund it. Because obviously, it's a lonely sport. You pay a lot more than you earn, but we do it for the love of it. Love of it. And I'm happy to promote any sponsors on my shorts, whether that be on my social media. But as of now, the only message you've got is for Daniel himself, and like you say, it's to keep training and make sure we give these fans some fireworks.
Absolutely. Now, you've definitely got me fired up for it, and I'm really looking forward to calling your fight on the evening. In terms of sponsors, as we've mentioned, it's a historical event, and you do have the right attitude and are looking to go right to the top. So, for companies and stuff, I will drop all the links in through his social medias, because it is a lonely sport, like you said, in Zach, and every little bit helps on this journey. And for anybody that wants to be a part of it, come and join the team, innit, man?
Yeah, 100%. Like I say, I'm 26. We've got at least 10 years left in this game, if not more.
Yeah,
I'm,
absolutely.
I've got at least, genuinely believe I've got at least 50 fights left. And
See,
I'm happy to have it.
yeah,
Anyone who
I love
wants
it.
it.
I love it. 4 weeks on Saturday, everybody. Now, as I said, I will drop the link in for your social media links. And for tickets, anybody that wants any tickets, preferably go directly to you, so you get a little bit more on the commission side, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we do get a cut of it, but ultimately we just want as many people in that arena as we can get in.
Yeah, let's get some eyes on this. 4 weeks away, like I said. It's absolutely massive. History in the making. Zach, it's been absolutely great to chat to you tonight. Thank you very much for your time, man.
Thank you for having me on. Look forward to it, mate.